Hello there to all Star Wars fans and welcome to a new video series I've wanted to make for quite a while now that is all about Star Wars and just looking into everything really, from speculation and theories to characters that I really like to what ifs and everything in between. This series will focus on being positive and acknowledging that if you enjoy any type of Star Wars, from the films to games to the books and comics, it makes you a Star Wars fan, regardless of what anyone else says. Now, this first video will be looking at the upcoming series The Acolyte, and what I think could happen and what I'd like to see. There will be spoilers for those who have not seen the trailers and current TV spots, so please be warned. Also, my theories could prove to be correct, or they could not, so to that end, there could also be potential spoilers there. For those of you who want to go into this series fully blind, you have been warned. So let's kick things off with what we may already know. It appears there is a murderer on the loose and they are targeting Jedi. The main suspect here would be May, the character we see fighting a Jedi in what appears to be a cantina in the trailer, though part of me thinks that would be way too obvious, but they do really seem intent on killing Jedi, so who knows, it could be that simple. Also, from what we know, Jedi Master Saul seems to be hunting this killer, or hunting May if they're the same target. Though the big mystery for me is who is wielding that red lightsaber. Now, I've seen a few theories floating around online. I'm just going to debunk one right here. I don't think it's Tech. Sorry, guys. But in all seriousness, who could it be? Well, there have been theories on Plagueis, which, they could go down that route. Personally, if they're going down that road, I'd prefer they go with Tenebrous, who was Plagueis' master. But it could also be neither of these. Who to say it is actually a Sith and not just a dark side Force user? Though, if we're seeing witches in this series, possibly, could this be a former Sith that's been resurrected? Because the Jedi don't believe that the Sith have fully returned until the time of Phantom Menace, so this kind of leaves the door open for a few possibilities. I would love for it to be someone we don't know or don't expect. Another theory is it's May who's fully embraced the dark side. That seems too obvious to me, and in one of the latest TV spots, we do see May looking at this lightsaber wielder. So again, I'm not thinking that it's them. I guess we'll just have to wait and see who is under that mask and what their goal really is. Another character I'm interested to see though is Jeki, who is the Padawan of Master Saul. I always find it interesting to see a Padawan faced with darkness and how they handle it, just like when we saw Obi-Wan against Maul. I always like the idea of people living in a time of relative peace and being shoved into this conflict and having to adapt, and we see how it forces characters to change and shift in their ideals. There have also been similarities pointed out between the Knights of Ren's design and the helmet our new Darkside friend has on. We could see a link between the two here, which could be interesting if they do a full origin of the Knights of Ren, as we do know some things about them, though going back this far to their earliest formation could be interesting to see, though I'm not certain this is the route they're going to go down. Whilst it would be cool to explore that, I believe this new Darkside user is something completely different. Whether they are a Sith or merely an acolyte of the dark side, or something else entirely, that's still to be discovered. I'd like to see something different than what we may expect, though. I would also like to quickly go over who has been killing these Jedi and why. As for the who, the main finger is being pointed at May, as this makes sense as we see them hunting Jedi in the trailer, and possibly killing one, though we don't fully know how that fight ends yet. Though a new TV spot has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works. We see Master Saul saying that the killer was someone he trained, and when he appears to catch up to them, they may look like May, but their name seems to be Osha. Either way, I think the identity of the real person behind the killings is meant to be a mystery. Whilst it could be easy to say that May's the one behind it all, or this dark side user with the red lightsaber is, I think there is a deeper mystery to be solved here that will be revealed in time. Now, there are a few more characters I have not covered in this video, and that is mostly because I'm not sure where their path will take them in the series. I'm interested in Yord, who is a Jedi who seems to be very devoted to the Jedi way, and is very by the book and an overachiever. I think we may see his beliefs tested over the course of the series, and maybe he will adopt a less by the book approach, or the events may just harden his resolve. I think this series may be instrumental in showing the Jedi being set in their ways, which ultimately leads to their downfall and the rise of the Empire. Speaking of the rise of the Empire and the Sith gaining power, I think we may see some hints of the larger looming threat. These could just be subtle clues, or just outright mentioning Plagueis. Who knows? Though it is important to note that the Jedi Way is flawed, and I think that will definitely be shown. I also saw the other day that someone pointed out this was to be a Sith-led show, so does that mean we'll be following the story of the dark side user more closely, or will we simply see the decline of the Jedi start? In some of the latest TV spots, we've also seen some really cool features, like the first lightsaber whip seen in live action, which is really cool as they are a unique design in Legends, and the closest that we have got on screen to something like that would be seeing the light whip in the Clone Wars. I'm also looking forward to seeing how fights with the lightsaber whip play out, or if we will see a duel with it being used, and I think seeing the Jedi during their height in combat is always something to look forward to. As the episodes of The Acolyte come out, I think speculation will only get more wild, which I absolutely love. I really enjoy making theories and seeing them and wondering where the story will take us. From all that we've seen so far, the show really does seem interesting, and I think it'll be a great addition to the Star Wars universe. My main question is, who is our mysterious dark side wielder? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That is all from me for now. Stay safe out there, Star Wars fans, and I'll see you all in the next one.